welcome back to
the Zak
and Buzz
Review. And we are
reviewing Godzilla Minus One that we saw in IMAX.
in IMAX.
Yeah, that was actually really cool. That was a really cool experience.
That's right. And I mean, the sound just literally hit you.
Yeah, I was unsure because you're obviously not familiar with IMAX.
That was my first IMAX movie.
Yes, and
I was not disappointed.
You thought it was very loud, like during the trailers and things. So I was a bit like, "Oh no, is it gonna affect his kind of
no
viewing of this?"
No, it was loud when it needed to be loud.
Anyway, it drew you in. It drew you in.
But,
so Godzilla Minus One.
Right.
First I'm gonna say it is sensational. If you have the opportunity to watch it, definitely do.
Yeah,
you are missing out if you miss it. Do not miss this movie.
This is a level 10 plus movie.
This soars above and beyond expectations.
I mean, yeah,
really, it was amazing.
Like you, I made sure I avoided any kind of spoilers or anything before seeing the movie.
Yeah, because it came out on Friday and we caught it on the Saturday.
Didn't know what to expect.
So we had to stay away from YouTube.
Saw the trailer. You know, it was about as much as we did. But I want to start reviewing this movie at the end of the movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
And not the end of the movie, but actually at the end of the credits.
Okay.
Because at the end of the credits, it got, for the first time, I can't remember, to be honest, the last time. I have been in a cinema over the years where movies have got a clap.
Yeah.
But this movie got a full audience, a round of applause,
standing ovation,
and then
this was amazing.
At the end of the credits, these guys that were in front of us, there was a row of about 6 or 7
they were
burly builders, you know, it's like bikers like me kind of thing, and they all got up and they all turned around and they were wiping their eyes because they were crying.
And who says men don't have a heart?
I know, that was the thing with this movie.
This had such an emotional punch to it.
It was a roller coaster up and down.
Yeah, true.
The main actor, the main character in it, he literally goes through the ringer. He is
pummeled, bashed.
Yeah, from the start of the movie, he's dealing with guilt because of being a kamikaze pilot that he's kind of basically can't see it. It's the end of the war. He can't see the point in giving his life away. It's like a few, but he has to then.
He has the opportunity to kind of sacrifice himself to save his kind of comrades, but he flinches.
He kind of
hesitates and loses the opportunity.
And then he has to suffer the guilt. Yeah. So the guilt, very much so based on the Japanese honor system, because obviously he is then really dishonoured if you
and everyone really hates him for it,
and so he has to deal with that, but then he has to deal with post-traumatic stress,
because this is actually
he blames himself for getting all these people killed.
This actually takes place over a few years, doesn't it? It kind of jumps year after year after year,
and so he's dealing with that kind of guilt and depression, and
he's lost his family.
His parents have died in the war. He's got the guilt of the post-traumatic stress syndrome, as I say,
and then
he's having all the dreams.
He's suddenly thrust into this situation where he's looking after this girl and an orphaned child, who then become his kind of new family, and he wants to open up to this new possibility.
You kind of have this lift in the movie where he's starting to accept that life that he should start to enjoy life, and it's not all necessarily his fault. But because at the beginning of the movie, he has the big problem with the PTSD was where all these people die is because he has this interaction with Godzilla.
Kind of the more dinosaur version of Godzilla.
What do you call him? A Zillasaurus?
Godzillasaurus. So the most equatable thing to that would be in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah from 1991. That would be the Godzillasaurus from that before he gets irradiated and becomes Godzilla as we know it.
But because it's based at the end of the Second World War, everything is just spot on. You know, it feels like you're watching.
This is
a World War II war movie. That just happens to have this kaiju in it.
And but saying that, he's in it a good lot as well.
And of course we're watching this movie, and in the UK, I don't know if it was dubbed anywhere else, but it's just subtitled. But it just didn't matter. You know, I mean, I like a subtitle.
Draws you in, it keeps your attention
the whole audience,
way through.
The whole audience was just drawn into it. And as I say, the main character, he suffers such a lot. And then he's kind of raised up, and his hopes of and then it's completely dashed.
Throw him down.
It's completely dashed. And right at the end of the movie, I mean, I'm thinking about it. I'm getting a little bit choked up again, because at the end of the movie, he's again goes through the emotion of joy.
Yeah.
But he's literally broken. He's like crying his eyes out because he can't believe what's happened.
Yeah.
And I think that's what basically.
It's based in its whole. It's kind of this massive story of redemption.
Redemption of it's
family,
love story, guilt,
and a Godzilla movie.
It's a Godzilla movie, but it's
insane.
I suppose I could say that it definitely isn't a Godzilla movie that is at all aimed at children.
No,
in any way.
No.
This is
very akin to the original.
100% adult Godzilla. This is exactly. When I finished the movie, it was like the first thing that came out of my mind. That is how you make a Godzilla movie. This isn't a kind of Marvel style, legendary style kind of action-packed movie.
Because that was the thing. We saw the trailer for the next legendary movie.
Legendary one was before
this came on.
That's it. With a little baby Godzilla. Not Godzilla. The big King Kong.
Well, you never know. But yeah, that by comparison looks more kiddie.
Well, that's what I mean. More kind of like
happy entertainment.
I know it's not Marvel, but that kind of
Marvel-esque kind of
feel to it.
Yeah.
But this thing was just raw.
This was a beast of a movie.
And
a beast.
Godzilla was awesome.
So good. It was so good. The design, the atomic breath.
Oh, the atomic breath was just. It was like a level above anything you've seen before.
Yeah. Boom, I mean, lots of people would probably equate it to the power of like Shin Godzilla or anything, but to be honest, my personal opinion, this film is like so superior to Shin Godzilla.
And you got lost in the story. You got lost in the story. There was a twist at the end, or whatever you would call it, but you kind of like
a resolution.
You didn't see the resolution coming.
Yeah.
And you went, oh my god!
Yeah.
And it's just like awesome. And the other thing is the sound. When they obviously had the original Godzilla music in there when Godzilla appears.
Bit of an update, but yeah.
Yeah, but that was like boom, boom, boom.
Kicking.
Boom,
that was
boom,
kicking.
Boom,
yeah.
boom, 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 boom,
and you really felt it.
And then it cut to like suddenly the sound would go.
Oh,
they cut quiet, completely. Sound would go, and then
your
suddenly
edge of your seat entertainment there.
Like, what? And then like all this debris would fly around the corner of them.
Ah!
And then everybody.
Literally all of the action scenes with Godzilla, from the smallest little thing to the massivest spectacle. It was all you just had a smile on your face the entire time.
It was just the just everything they were trying to do to deal with
the
Godzilla.
gravitas of Godzilla in this was amazing.
For me, I love little things like the fact that it had the tanks in there.
It had the tanks, had the boats, had the explosions.
But it had loads of wonderful references to the fact it was the end of World War II and the Japanese had basically been disarmed, and America wouldn't give them any help, and
they had to really combat this on their own.
And it was like, but the other thing is there was no kind of new super technology that had been brought in to help them out.
That's really what made it different.
It was all still World War II tech. There was nothing that was suddenly...
Everyone working off their own backs.
But it was there was nothing that was designed or created which was some kind of new magical device to combat Godzilla. It was still
they had the way they dealt with Godzilla.
But it was still World War II tech. It was cables and bits and pieces and stuff.
And science.
And good old World War II destroyers and
the boats.
And the boat scene was amazing.
All the boat scenes were amazing.
I mean, the one where they suddenly Godzilla comes up and they're on the little fishing boat.
Little tugboat.
They're out running on this tugboat because they've got this wooden tugboat because the wood doesn't attract the magnetic mines, and it's like trying to outrun Godzilla, and it's like
he's just swimming quite casually after them.
And then they obviously use a couple of things to try and deter and get rid of Godzilla, and then discover that has no effect. In fact,
at all,
just pisses him off. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And then you think this is it. They're going to get done, and then suddenly,
boom,
the destroyer comes in that you can't. Where did that come from?
But and
then it's like, how dare you shoot things at me?
I don't like that. Hello.
Goodbye, destroyer.
But that, But Godzilla in this was so resilient. They throw everything at him, and he just keeps on kicking.
Yeah, and again, the music, because you said you recognised another piece of music.
Yeah, I recognised it from King Kong versus Godzilla, the original one. It was like some of those island scenes with King Kong. It had little notes of that.
There is nothing negative about this movie.
No, not at all.
In fact, to be honest, I would put that straight into the Oscars. That's going to be a stupid thing because it won't even get a mention. But the guy who plays the lead, that actor should bloody well be put forward for an Oscar because
best actor,
he just everything he was
amazing.
Going through. You felt for the guy.
Yeah, I mean,
as well as you connected with other characters as well in it.
I mean, best movie of 2023. Oh my god, Jesus, this is insane.
I just can't believe how good this
movie
Godzilla Minus One was.
I mean, we're talking. This is like almost the 40th Godzilla movie we've seen,
and
in its 70-year run.
Nobody, if they see that movie, people can prejudge Godzilla movies, and they say, "Oh, you see the original ones through the 70s and that and that."
Matthew Broderick, of course.
They're kiddies movies, or you see Matthew Broderick, and think Zilla is kind of, is that Godzilla?
Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
it's more of a remake of The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. Exactly. But that's the topic for another video.
But this one has just knocked the ball right out the ballpark, you know, because it's like
this has excelled so far beyond our expectations.
If nobody has ever seen a Godzilla movie,
this is the one to see.
If anybody goes, I poo-poo it, I'm not going to watch a Godzilla movie, it's for kids or anything,
you are lying.
If you sit them in front of this particular movie and then boom,
especially showing a newcomer to Godzilla how emotional and dramatic Godzilla can be. This is the one.
You couldn't believe how emotional it was.
Yeah.
And the action was spot on. Everything was delivered.
It was serious. It was well timed.
Everything was delivered perfectly.
Perfect. That is the best way to
my friend
really
Matt from
it.
America, when I came back and I posted it on social media, I said, that is how you make a Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
And he just came back and he said, this movie is perfect. Because he is a major Godzilla fan, and that's it. It sums up. It's perfect.
Domestically, internationally, this is wiping the floor clean of every other movie.
Exactly.
And it is such a shame that it's got such a limited run. Go and see it while you can.
I mean, how much did they spend on making this one?
£15 million.
15 million.
They spent over 200 million on the Flash.
Yeah.
And the CG in that is.
Yeah, and they nicked the idea.
The story.
The baby scene in the Flash was the only thing that kind of made me laugh. But then they nicked that from X-Men.
Oh, which one?
Well, the one with Quicksilver.
Oh,
where he's moving everybody's arms and stuff. It was basically it was a similar.
But back onto Godzilla.
Back onto Godzilla.
Watch Godzilla Minus One.
So, Zach, what would you say would be a good idea if they did a follow-up to this?
Well, that's the thing. I don't want to call it a spoiler, but there is the potential for a sequel. There is a potential for a sequel in this, and it is so thoroughly anticipated. And if they didn't jump on this opportunity to kickstart a new Toho run of Godzilla movies,
I mean,
that would just be silly. They've got to do it. Do it.
That's it. There was, like every good movie, a bit right at the end, which allows it to have a sequel.
Yeah.
And if you're watching it, do not leave the movie theatre. Wait till the end.
Till the very end of those credits.
The credits.
Watch it all.
It's just worth it for that last little bit.
Definitely.
So what would be a good follow-up?
Sequel-wise, I reckon it's the perfect opportunity to bring back the good old Angie man himself, Anguirus.
Because we haven't seen Anguirus
on a solo one-on-one against Godzilla since Godzilla Raids Again. And to be honest, I think he's the perfect character for the role as a perfect antagonist.
They could, like they did with Godzilla in Godzilla Minus One, they kind of, he's a beast of a Godzilla, isn't he?
Yeah.
And so they can just keep Anguirus
fundamentally the
same, but take him up a level,
Yeah.
And
have them brawling everywhere. That would be amazing.
That would be. I think every Godzilla fan would
a lot of people have actually said this on social media and things, and even some have suggested Titanosaurus. He's up there. Yeah. But to be honest, I don't think Titanosaurus, as much as I love him and he's one of my favourite kaiju, I don't think for a direct sequel to Godzilla Minus One it would be the best fit, because he is very much just a more aquatic version of Godzilla, and he kind of needs to have like another monster with him to kind of balance that out, because otherwise it's just two Godzillas fighting each other, which again, to be honest, I'd love to see.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting to see which way they go.
Go on.
Yeah,
Anguirus for the win. Come on.
But whether they make a sequel or not, this movie stands on its own. It is the best.
Yeah.
The best. I mean, obviously...
Wipes the floor clean of Shin Godzilla.
I love all classic Godzilla.
All of it, yeah.
All of it.
The good, the bad, the worst,
you know,
the
they're
best.
all fantastic. You know, they're all up there for me. There's a couple of dodgy ones in there.
Yeah, but still, they're enjoyable.
That's why the franchise has lasted so long. But this one is pure gold.
Yeah, like perfection. Yeah. Perfection. Godzilla perfection. We are talking top tier Godzilla.
There's nothing else we can say.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to this channel and comment below any suggestions of further reviews you'd like to see.